Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a quick video knowing that that is sometimes easier for people to take information in by instead of reading my very, very long emails. So this is just an overview of the information that we talked about at the first ninth grade academy meeting. If you were not able to be there, if you were at, excuse me, if you were at that meeting, don't worry about watching the rest of this because it will just be a repeat. But essentially, ninth grade academy is going to look a little bit differently this year than it has from the last 2 years. So previously we've done 4 full days. This year we're going to do 5 half days. So the dates are August 6th through August 10th. And the time will be from 7:30 until 12:30, but there's a half hour of like flex enrichment time in the morning and in the afternoon. So we will invite kids to come at 7:30 so that they can eat breakfast in the cafeteria, which is provided for free to all of our students. We will have games available. Citier will be there to hang out with them. We encourage you guys to also come down and just kind of chat with them more informally. And then we will all start together formally in the auditorium every morning at 8, like we have in the past. So we'll start with a whole grade level gathering at 8 o'clock, and then we will transition to classrooms. Students are going to be scheduled in their learning community groups and with their learning community teachers, and they will be with you the entire week. I know we kind of floated the idea of having them move through different classes so that they got to meet more of their teachers, but knowing that we're only going to have learning community once a week this upcoming year, and we really want to still make this a foundation of like the communities that we build, we do want them with that small group of peers for that first week, and it just helps, I think, make the whole thing a little bit less overwhelming. So you will have your kids with you that entire school week. We will conclude the day at 12, and then there will be another like enrichment block from 12 to 12:30. We're going to encourage everyone to stay who has not completed their summer homework during that time to work with you guys in your classrooms to get that summer homework done and to get any help that they might need. We also will have some other activities that are happening during that afternoon block time. For instance, Ms. Martine approached me. She really wants to test the kids who are enrolled in Spanish to make sure that they're in the correct Spanish level. ROTC really wants to talk to students who selected ROTC to make sure that it is the right fit for them and to help recruit other students who may not have known about that opportunity who really might benefit from having that kind of class and structure. The other thing we talked about was doing a Trans 101 panel. GSA hosted one of those this year and it was really successful, but it only reached a small section of our students. So if we can get more kids on board right from the beginning and just like educated about trans students in the trans community, we hope that that may support some of those students who are dealing with those issues here at North High School. So that's kind of like what the overview of the week and the days will look like. The other thing that is slightly different from what we have done in the past is in the past I have taken on planning all of the lessons and then like communicating those out to everybody. We're going to change that a little bit this year just based on feedback that I've heard over the past 2 years and knowing that I've been out of the classroom now for a couple of years. Like I do not feel like I'm best positioned to really write these lessons, especially in isolation. You guys are the experts in the technology that we have available to us now, knowing what students are coming in with in terms of like their thinking and skill and reading and ability levels just better than I am at this point. So we still want to have a unified like schedule and approach to the lesson topics and the plans that we are all teaching. But I would love for you guys to take on the planning of those lessons. So there are some lesson topics that are in the email below. They're linked in the schedule, and if everyone could sign up for either 1 or 2, if you've got 2 people working on one, that's great. It should just be nice to have somebody to brainstorm and not feel like you have to come up with all of those ideas on your own. If you end up being the only one on a lesson and you want to send it to me and just make sure that we're talking through what you're thinking, that would be great. So if you could put your name in that spreadsheet next to those lessons, we'll kind of go from there. The other thing I will say about those is you don't have to just stick with the topics that I've written down. I kind of took those based on what we've done in the past and also just other things we've talked about, like the RJ one would be new, but it's something we want to make a really like grounding part of our culture. So I think it's important to talk with our 9th graders about what that means and what that looks like in terms of being a North Viking. So that will be part of like the paid planning that is included with the teacher stipend. The teacher stipend for 9th grade academy includes 25 hours of like teacher instruction time, which is why our schedule is 7:30 to 12:30 for those 5 days. And then it includes 7 hours of like planning and prep time. So there will be about 3 hours dedicated for room setup the week before ninth grade academy, just so that you can make sure that your space looks nice and is welcoming for our incoming freshmen. And then the other 4 hours will be dedicated to like planning one of these lessons or working on 2 of these lessons, and then also taking some time before we start on Monday to review the lessons that are being sent to you by your ninth grade teammates. And then also just making sure you're kind of like aware of what is coming on Monday. Monday will be a kind of weird day because the link leaders will be leading the kids through everything. So you guys will be there and working at ninth grade academy, but you won't necessarily be instructing, because our link leaders, who are upperclassmen, they will be really taking on all of the activities and the orientation to North that day for our freshmen. Okay, and then in terms of like reviewing lessons for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the plan will be that you use some of that flex time in the morning and in the afternoons in order to do that, and make sure if there are any questions that you have, you can reach out to the other teachers who may have planned those lessons who are here at ninth grade academy with us. I think that's all that I've got right now. The only other thing you may see in the email built into that like planning time pay is calling unregistered students. There will be directions for that later in the summer, like the week before we start ninth grade academy. That usually is just to reach out to the 4 or 5, 6 kids who are on your roster who we know are projected to North but haven't officially registered for ninth grade academy, just to say to them like, hey, we really need you here. This is an important part of starting high school, and to get them registered so that we can get as many of our kids through ninth grade academy and prepared for their freshman year as possible. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You will see in the one of the planning documents in terms of the pairings that a couple of you guys will be paired with somebody else to kind of co-teach ninth grade academy with you. We do this just to support people who are new to ninth grade academy and make sure that it's a smooth transition for you guys and you feel totally comfortable with everything that is going on. Again, please let me know if there are any questions, and I will hopefully not send you too many more emails, but I will try to send videos if that is easier also. Thanks.